like I became this bad guy. I became an addict. I started smoking cigarettes. I started drinking. Myself, I got snatched from a mob campus, and the kind of weed that I found then was kind of low grade.
Kwani yako, were you planting for yourself?
Mine was sauce, Narcos.
Okay, hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Itago, and with me I have a guest. Do you mind introducing yourself?
I am Benjy. Yes, and I'm married to one woman.
Okay, so this is the third episode of Things You Won't Hear in Church. And today I'm so fortunate to have him just come and share his thoughts and his journey of getting to know God, of his past, just some things, because I've talked to him and this guy, you all brace yourselves, tie your seatbelts, get a cup of tea, because this is going to be an amazing journey. So I know I've shared on my channel some things of what God has done for me, how God has gone after has been pursuing my heart. And one thing that I've really wanted to do is to have other people express that journey of pursuit. So because I've met a lot of people who are seeking, a lot of people who are being pursued, but you really, if you're not conscious of this phase that you're in, it's much harder for you to respond to what God is doing to you. So I brought him here, and today we're going to talk about God's pursuit of a man's heart. So tell us about how you growing up was.
Okay. So yes, we grew up. I was born in Busia, actually, in the western part of Kenya. Yeah.
You speak Luya?
I speak Luya.
Which Luya?
Bukusu.
Bukusu. You there?
Kulome.
Kumarome.
That one is fake.
Mine is Maragoli.
It's Maragoli?
Yeah.
Okay. So, my parents were conservative Christians, so to speak, because they were ACK. So definitely we grew up around that atmosphere, going to church. They were, like, Christianity wasn't as real. But again in school, because Kitambo, those days, you any school you would go to, they had a forum where there's an opportunity for you to know who Jesus is, to know anything about religion, so to speak. So that's that for me growing up. But I think from an early age, God started pursuing me from a very, very early age. Because I remember when I was young, as even 5 years old, I think I would see visions, I would see stuff in the house.
Wow.
Yeah.
You didn't think like you're hallucinating? I mean, you don't have a word for it when you're a child.
Yes. But I found it weird, because I would see things, and I would point my friends and tell them, can you see this guy? Can you see this creature here?
Wow. And
they are not seeing. Or at times we are with people and I'm seeing something and I just take off. And guys are like, what's up with this guy?
They must have thought you're crazy.
Yeah, and at times I would be in the sitting room and my mom would be in the bedroom or somewhere in the kitchen, and a being would manifest and I would scream, because I don't know what it is. I don't know how to relate to it. I would really scream, and my mom would come and she'd be like, what's up? Nini, you. But okay, it was just that after that I didn't pay so much attention to it until later, until now. It's now when I can understand what was happening in hindsight. But even growing up also, like, we would be so active in Sunday school, you know. We would be the ones singing songs.
Hey, wait.
Yeah.
What? Soprano?
Is it even in the scales? I don't know.
Or like those, there's those people who, when you stand up to sing and then you say, just listen to the words.
Yeah,
don't listen to the voice.
Which is a form of pride, anyway. Because they end up chucking like the most heavenly,
beautiful sounds. I know, right?
Yeah. So it was that, and at times, because where we used to live in the midst of a community that was very occultic, in the sense that there was a lot of witchcraft going on around us.
Yeah.
And at times, just playing outside, because we were privileged to have a kind of a big compound where we were staying. So I would be like, I would just feel like, I can now see in hindsight, I would just feel the need to sing, and I would sing praise songs. I would sing praise songs, and then the atmosphere would change.
Wow.
Like, it would really change. It would become like kind of cloudy, and a lot of peace would prevail over that area. So I think in those very early stages, God was pursuing my heart.
Yeah.
And whenever I responded to it, I saw results even in my academics. Like, there was this time, I think I was in class 8, because I went through 844.
Oh,
so,
we didn't know. We couldn't tell.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and I prayed to God, because I wasn't performing like that badly, but I just wanted to be up there. So I cried to God, I want the top position in. And it actually happened.
Wow.
In class.
Then you became number 1.
I became number 1.
For how long?
For that once.
And then you were like, I'm good now.
Yes, and then Mom was like telling me, you know what, becoming number 1 is easier than remaining number 1.
That's true.
So,
can I tell you though?
Yeah.
I was number 1 every single semester.
what do you say?
What do I say?
Which school did you go to?
Dogaro.
Where is that? And how come you have a semester in Dogaro? Because it doesn't sound like a place you'd have a semester. Anyway, so that was that. Now, transitioning to high school, I went to Maseno School, and then I was kind of transferred to another school. Now it is in this other school that I met Jesus. A mission group came to school and they preached Jesus to us, and I accepted the Lord. And it was just that, but it wasn't so real. It was just that Christianity that is out there, like it is like a hype, or it is, I don't know, there was no real substance to it.
Yeah.
So even before I knew it, maybe 1 year after that, I got now into the world. Like, I became this bad guy. I became an addict. I started smoking cigarettes. I started drinking. Started watching porn and all that, So it really messed my life up, because now from that I plummeted to crime, and I was just out there living a dangerous life.
Okay, you've said a lot of things in 2 sentences about that life outside Christ.
Yeah.
Maybe because I know, like, there's people that I've met and they're like, I'm really a bad person.
Okay.
Or like, I used to know God, but now, like, with things that I do, I don't know, unajua. So it's like that. Once I was saved, but now I don't feel like I am anymore. So I don't know, maybe you could speak a little bit more about, like, that phase of your life.
The thing about faith and maybe stepping out from following Jesus Christ, when you come to faith, one thing I believe, you never lose your salvation. Like, Jesus never abandons you. It is you that doesn't respond to him anymore, in the sense that you don't follow him.
Yeah.
You now get entangled in the things of the world. So that's what happened to me. Like, I went away, but even in the midst of that, I would find moments where, like, I would have the need to respond to God. I would feel the need to go to church and have fellowship. I would feel the need to read the Bible, and so it was that. And I remember I would read my Bible, maybe in high school, in 4th form. Yes, I was doing weed and all that, but I would read my Bible. Like, I remember it was 2nd term in Form 4. I never read, like, during preps, I never read anything else other than the Bible.
Still high.
Cover to cover.
But reading the Bible.
Yes, still high, but reading the Bible. So I would find the stories so fascinating, I think it was just still a hunger and a void within me that God wanted to occupy, because that is true for every man.
Yeah.
As Ecclesiastes says, that he has put eternity in the hearts of men. but it is for us to seek out that place and invite God to fill it, because it's a void that every person has. If you don't come to God, if you don't have God fill that void, then it remains empty.
That's true.
So regardless of whether you try to fill it with alcohol or women or men or money or anything that is of this world, the void still remains, because what is supposed to fill it is not finite. Yeah, it is infinite. It is out there. It is transcendent. Whenever you feel that void, whenever you feel like there is something more after all these things, after doing video games, after doing movies, after doing all that, after going for car races and bike races and all that, but you still feel empty inside. I think that is the moment that you should realize, yes, there is a higher life out there that you're supposed to invite into you. And it's as simple as that, and it's as simple as telling God, you know what, God, I know you're out there. I know you're out there somewhere. You always created this place in me that you're supposed to feel. So I just invite you through the way that you have chosen, through your son Jesus Christ, whom I believe as Lord. Just come and fill that void. It's not something religious. It's not something that you should go about repenting and saying and reciting all your sins and saying, oh God, you remember at 12 o'clock I did this and I sent this text to this one, forgive me for that. It's not that. It's as simple as just inviting him and starting to develop a relationship with him.
I agree with you on that, because I remember, for those who do not know, I used to also really drink a lot in school.
You don't look like it. Amma, what
let's
were you
just
drinking?
say I cleaned up. I was drinking wine and Red Bull, some vodka, tequila. Anyway, everything on the spectrum. And I used to party a lot. I still like partying, but I party in church now. So, but at some point, because I'm a person that loves fun, and I never thought Christians know how to have fun. So even though I was Christian, I was like, let me go have my fun and then I'll come back in church. And at that point where I was just like, I can, then what else? There has to be something more. And it took me a while before I figured out that, you don't have to start having a week of atonement. Just tell God, God, I'm tired. And I did exactly that. And I went to God with my own terms on how he's supposed to speak to me. And he was like, cool, I'll come to your level. And and through that is where now I got on that journey of now getting into a deeper relationship with God. But I think if I had done it earlier, I don't know, but at that point it's when I did it. I was just like, God, I'm tired. But you mentioned something. You said that I know you've talked about this kidogo out there about life of crime. How did you get into that?
How I got into life of crime? First, my journey with drugs started when I was just about to complete high school. That was my phase when I started getting into drugs, and the point of contact was music.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because I started listening to this kind of music which my mom had prohibited, don't watch secular music, don't watch this hip-hop stuff, don't watch this reggae stuff. So I started watching Bob Marley, and I started watching Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre. Those were the days of Still Dre, and man, those jams,
they hit a point.
They hit a point in me. Exhibit, Eminem was coming up, and it was just crazy. DMX, all that era. So that was my point of contact, and I thought these guys are so cool. They get to have all the fly chicks, they get to dress well, and they are still drunk,
and they look like they're having fun. Honestly,
yes, and they have a lot of money. So why not? So I decided, okay, why not go down this road and just sample out stuff and see what's here.
And you went sampling everything.
I started with pint, I remember that time there was this brand called cider. So I started sampling with that. Chapaing kidogo, I come back home, I'm a bit tipsy, and my parents don't realize it. So I continued. Then one day I took beer, and man, yeah, I was just, so I hated beer.
Yeah.
So I said, no, this beer thing it doesn't look good. And
Let's do the hard stuff.
Yeah, I've seen in the videos like this guy is like Bob, smokes weed and he's like cool.
Yeah.
And he's thinking, he's philosophical, he's connecting reality. And I'm like, no, this is a better state of consciousness. So let me try weed. So I went far away and I did weed. And when I did weed, my whole world changed. Like I got into another realm of consciousness that I think I shouldn't have opened myself into, you know. And now from there, everything was a downward spiral.
Oh, wow.
I became rebellious. So what happened? The more I did that, the more I got into, because you know, sin and habits, they go like they go in clusters.
Yeah.
When you're smoking weed, it's likely that you're sleeping around, or you're smoking cigarettes, or you're doing alcohol, and in that mix up, the other people you're meeting. So apparently I got to meet guys that were criminals and all that, you know. So fast forward to now university, when everything is...
Which uni did you go to?
I went to Mo University and all that, yes.
Okay.
So what happened then was the freedom. First of all, the freedom. Like you have your own room, nobody's looking out for you, and then there is this money in the account from help.
Yes.
And then, you know, that time, okay, me, I was job admitted. I was admitted to the uni. So my parents and my aunties and my cousins and uncles were like, yeah, you guy, you've made it. So let's give you money.
Okay.
So I had a lot of cash at my disposal.
Yeah.
So when I went to uni, what happened is I had carried weed from home, like enough to last me for a while. So
Wow.
So when I was smoking that weed, I got into the company of other weed smokers. So my stocks,
Education.
yeah. So what happened? I started looking for weed in school, in campus, and the kind of weed that I found then was kind of low grade.
Kwani
Yes,
yako,
yeah.
were you planting for yourself?
Mine was sauce there, narcos. So I'm like, okay, this guy can sell this grade and he still makes money, and people are like, they're all over him. So what if I bring? So I started doing it as business. I started peddling drugs.
Weed makes a lot of money.
It makes a lot of money. So now mambo ya shule nimeanza kusahau nini. So I'm there selling weed and all that, and that opened a whole new world for me, like in crime. And now I started meeting the who's and is who's in Eldoret of crime and all that. So it became so attractive to me to see that we can roll out, we can make money, and police are involved. And we can work with police, and they can give us guns, and they can tell us where to go, where there won't be an operation, and we will be successful. So I got into that
So you
world.
were like those people we see like in the series, eh?
Yes, like it was that bad. So I went deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper into it, until it got to a place my friends started being killed. The people were rolling out.
Oh.
One guy got mobbed in Kisumu. Another guy got mobbed in Eldoret, like near where we were staying. Myself, I got snatched from a mob.
Wow.
Yeah, I have by the guys who were with. What happened? We were in a place drinking in a pub, and then I saw a woman using her phone. She was standing outside the pub. I don't know what, just it's that kleptomaniac spirit.
Yeah.
I went and snatched the phone and started running, and somebody tagged me.
Ooh.
And the whole mob was like, Mwizi, and they wanted to kill me. But I don't know what happened in the midst of all that. I just felt hands grab me and pull me out and say, run. So we ran until now. When I was coming back to myself, I realized it's my friends who had saved me.
Wow.
But I left with a few marks here and another one somewhere here. So that was just God. I believe it was God. So after that, I felt a lot of fear in me, and I said, no, I can't continue stealing. I feared even taking somebody's pen. So mambo ya shule nimeacha, and my parents we are not seeing eye to eye, so I'm just out there in the streets and I need to fend for myself. So actually it was really tough for me. So what happened is I came to Nairobi, and then I was like hustling huku chini, Kirinyaga Road, area, hizo ma area tu. Hizo ndo zilikuwa base, Mamubuka and all that, So it was just a kidati life, and in the midst of all that I was like, God, where are you? Where are you? Where I could flash back now, my mom telling me, this life that you're living will not lead you anywhere. Like, you'll just waste yourself and you'll go down. And I would remember those words, and I would ask God, God, just forgive me. Give me another chance. And then in a moment I would forget about it.
And then you go back. It's always like that. Yeah. So
I continued until I got so frustrated. One time I thought it is better even to be in a police cell than to be out here. Because in a police cell they will come and give you food in the morning, and then you have somewhere to sleep with other guys, It's kind of a safe environment, so to speak. So what I did, now by then I'd relocated to Thika. What I did, I went and bought weed and went to the gate of the police station. And I set the weed, like I started smoking it right at the gate, so that I get arrested and get locked
taken
up.
to the cell.
Imagine cops were pitying there.
They are
not even like, even nobody. And I'm like, kwani this is the fake stuff, and it's weed I'm smoking, and there are cops wanapita, wengine wanaingia na Land Rover, wengine they're just walking out and in, and I'm like, nobody will even know. You see, it's that rejection. Everything in the world, in the universe, just rejects you. But I believe God was working out something for me, because if I had ended up in that police cell, then it would have been so bad. So after that moment, after that instance, is when, like, in a span of the next 4 months, it's when now I came, like, to reconnect with Jesus Christ. Because after that moment, I relocated to another town, and I was just like looking for anything to do, any job, whether I'll be a shamba boy or what, I'll just do it. And I met a guy. I was looking for work, actually, and this guy stopped me. Actually, I was going to sell a dead dog.
To be put in samosas?
No. Samosas, let's not even go there. Wow. Okay.
Oh, so you know what happens with samosas?
Yes, I do. Let's not even go there. But not in Nairobi, though. LD people.
You have
LD and Nakuru. I don't know what's up with those terms. Anyway, let's not even go into that. Anyway, if you have to eat samosas, just go to a decent place. A decent place, and spend, even if you're spending money, just spend it, but be sure you're eating the genuine stuff. These other things, it's dangerous.
Wow.
So what happened, I was going to sell the dead dog to a crocodile farm somewhere.
Oh.
Yeah. So it was, apparently the guy had gone to look for work. I had gone to his place to look for work. Told me, you go sell this dog. If you manage to sell this dog, come back, I'll give you work. So I went to sell the dog, and I was rejected. They told
From
me,
selling a
dog, and they need it. Because they are rearing crocodiles, and crocodiles eat dead meat. So what they do, they just buy any carcass, whether it's donkey or what, and then they put it somewhere to rot a bit, and then they give it to the crocs. So imagine they rejected. Benjamin Jata Murithi, in the next 3 months, God has given you an opportunity.
Wow.
And he's pursuing you. If you don't connect with him,